However, College Game Day has rolled their way into Pullman, Washington to check on the Cougars and Wazoo. Oregon, they're rolling in to take on Washington State Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern. But the fans, they've already decided to start camping out, showing out, and being around for the huge Pac-12 North matchup.
Is that a drone? Where are we coming from? Good
We're
Lord.
coming from the Sky Camp. What's up?
Lord.
The fans are all over the building.
Me and Dez are going to zip line down that thing in a few.
Yeah, shoot, you kidding me?
We've got Butch T. Cougar. We've got a lot of old Crimson flags. We've got plenty of RVs here camped out, and who knows when they got here. I would like to declare a state of emergency. Oh, wait, the city's already done that.
They already
because so many people have showed up for College Game Day.
That's
Guys,
real.
I think you should just turn around and wave to everybody.
Get them up.
Thank you for coming. Come out tomorrow morning and bring a friend.
Something tells me that they will. Des, you've been to all the College Game Day stops.
Yeah.
How does what you've seen so far compare?
This is impressive. It really is. These guys, they're very happy to see us. They've been great hosts so far, but I'm still expecting something epic tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Okay.
sharp.
It's not the best Friday crowd we've had. This is not JMU Friday crowd.
No, it's not JMU.
It's not JMU Friday crowd.
Oh, the challenge is out there.
There's a huge challenge tomorrow.
It's definitely up there as one of the best things we've seen. So
I like the energy.
Listen, I gotta say this is the most energetic crowd I've ever been around.
I like the energy.
I mean, this is the loudest crowd we've probably ever been around. Maybe JMU had more, but this is the most energy.
look at you sucking up to the
I know, I
fans.
do what I can. Old Crimson's been flying 217 consecutive times on College Game Day, and guess what? We roll into town, and it's a big game weekend. We got Michigan taking on Michigan State, NC State, Clemson, Mississippi State, LSU, and Oregon, Washington State. Plenty of great games happening. 6 in total. What are you most excited to see this week in matchups?
I can't wait to see NC State and Clemson.
I'm with you.
And I know there's a lot of great games in the slate, but I'm very impressed with NC State and they're great tackles. They've missed the fewest tackles in college football. They play exceptionally hard. They're really tough. And I just think it could be one of those games where they make Trevor Lawrence really have to throw the football and make big plays. And it could be one of those games we're looking at down the stretch where it's a really good ball game and everybody's going, oh my God, could Clemson lose?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, what do we know about NC State right now? They didn't play West Virginia. That game was canceled earlier because of weather. So we're still trying to figure out this Wolfpack team. But I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be the key. Last time we saw them, they just destroyed Wake Forest, 63-3. But they ran the ball down a Demon Deacon's throat. So Trevor didn't really have to make a lot of plays with his arm throwing the ball. I think that the Wolfpack's defense is good enough that they're going to force them to have to make some throws. And I think we're going to see a lot from Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback and as a leader in this game tomorrow against NC State.
Trevor Lawrence, 11 touchdown passes, 868 yards. But Travis Etienne, I feel like he's been the star the whole time, this entire season.
And especially once Kelly Bryant left. Right. I think it became, we have to do this. When Chase Bryce came in the game, it was like, we're not going to win unless we give this guy the ball. And it showed you that Clemson's better off that direct way. He breaks a lot of tackles. He's really fast, but he's really physical. So you saw spurts last year of how great he could be as a freshman. But this year, Etienne is carrying the load. He's doing his job.
There's no doubt about that. He's #1 in rushing yards per game and 126 per clip. I mean, in the ACC, and he's averaging almost 10 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And he's the guy.
Is that good, Des?
It's all right.
A first down?
That was a first down every time the boy touches the ball. Yeah, I like his game. I like him a lot.
Okay, what about Michigan State? We just left Michigan. They needed a win over Wisconsin. Chase Winovich said it's like revenge row right now. These are all the games that they lost a season ago. Next up is Michigan State. Can they secure another big win as they continue to try to make it 7-0 in the season since they lost to Notre Dame?
I tell you what, this is going to be a big test for them to go on the road in East Lansing. You're playing a team with nothing to lose. I mean, obviously, coming to the season, I thought that Sparty had a chance to do something great. Returning 19 starters, 10 on offense. You get Michigan at home. You get Ohio State at home. I thought the schedule was really playing out in their favor. But then
it did, besides Arizona State, Northwestern.
Yeah, they went on the road, lost to Arizona State. They lost to Northwestern, and people started to write them up. But then they showed some resiliency. Bounced back, went up to Penn State a week ago, beat Penn State for their homecoming game, and now they got the Wolverines coming to into their backyard. So I think this is going to be a really big test for Michigan coming up against Sparty. I don't care. This is one of those games, David, you know, because you play, and Maria, you know, you play sports too. When it's a rivalry game, you understand you're going to watch film of this team, and they might not have looked that great against this team. Or
That ain't the team that's going to show up.
That's not the team that's going to show up against you on Saturday. It's true.
It's hatred. I mean, it is. There are a few teams that you play every year that you hate.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I know, listen, we all got kids and we tell them, don't hate people. But listen, Michigan and Michigan State don't like each other. There's a lot of teams across the country that don't like each other. This is a game that you'll see a lot of hard hits.
Oh,
you'll see a lot of physicality.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of people flying around with some bad intentions.
There might be a couple of targeting calls, too.
I hate targeting
I'm telling
calls.
you, I know, me too, but I'm telling you, it's going to be that type of physical contest.
All right, let's talk about a physical contest that might also take place right here on this campus. Oregon taking on Washington State. Pac-12 North, like if you're trying to get in the driver's seat right now in conference, this is the game that you're pointing to.
Yeah.
We saved it for last so that you guys could enjoy a little bit of the breakdown. But what are going to be some keys to this game?
Well, I think it's going to be defense. You're looking at two of the highest scoring offenses in the Pac-12. I mean, both teams average over 40 points a game. I think it'll come down to defense. Which team could come up with a big stop or either a big turnover late in the game, or it might be field position. But I think defense is going to be the key for this game. A turnover late in the game is going to determine who's going to win.
So that means one of the quarterbacks probably are the ones that will decide it too, because they'll have to make that mistake with one of these defenses. Because let's be honest, Washington State is run game optional.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
We're going to throw it 60 times.
Mike Leach makes no qualms
there's no
about
doubt
it.
about it.
Exactly.
The run game is not efficient. Let's forget about the run game. So I think, which quarterback makes those mistakes, I think has a lot to do with who's going to win. But it's going to be a high-scoring affair. It's going to be a lot of craziness, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Oregon's the top scoring defense in the Pac-12, and Washington State is the second best scoring offense. So let's talk about the defense then. Who has the better D? Do you see matching up best against these passing offenses?
Wow.
Here's a little present for you. Princeton for you.
Hold on.
Thank you, Jay.
You're right.
It's not the bees. What is he doing here?
I know, a little early. Okay.
Let's go.
Wave them proudly. Yeah.
This is all you need to know.
Yeah. This is called sucking up.
Sucking up.
I've been looking at this flag since 2005. Every week on the road.
Every single week?
Every single week on the road since 2005. I've been looking at this flag. So now it feels good to see this flag in Pullman at home. Great.
Come on.
Excellent.
David.
Excellent. Good to be here.
Crimson.
Home of the flag.
Been showing up at College Game Day since October 4th, 2003.
Yeah.
15 years in the making,
That's
and now
crazy.
we're here
I know.
on
Isn't that
the
wild?
campus of Washington State. Let's go. Plenty of mid-season awards to give out and go around. Gino, he's here a little bit early, but he's going to stick around because we need to know who is his coach of the mid-season. Still taking in the sights and sounds in Pullman, Washington. The fans already here for Friday, but Old Crimson's been flying at College Game Day since 2003, and it takes a lot of work to move it all around the country. Here's one of those flag coordinators, Adam Bauer.
I started in 2007, and my last one was last weekend here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I've done game days at Western Michigan University. I've done Michigan State. I've done Big Ten championships. I've done Notre Dame. And every time I'm connected with different alumni. And the most exciting thing about it over the years is
I'm Dak. If you're like me, you don't get much downtime, which is why I'm shooting a soup.
A tradition that was started by Tom Pounds carries on to this day. 217 consecutive College Game Day trips, and now College Game Day has made its
A once-in-500-year storm should happen.
Gino, it's not his first trip on the show. For some reason, someone allowed you to walk up here early.
It might be his last.
Right. We're only allowing it because you came with gifts.
Mentioned right away, you are my favorite on-air personality at ESPN, maybe in all of television.
Wow. I wonder why he's laying that on thick.
Let's all recognize the fact that Gino has a College Game Day story about Popcorn Guy, which is going to be awesome. He's going to be on the hunt for Popcorn Guy.
Yep.
But what he didn't know was I was on the sideline for the game. He referenced Joe Tess. He referenced Matt Millen.
Me and Des did. We were talking about it over there in the meetings.
Right.
But
I was pacing myself.
Okay, let's move on. Gino's here. That's great. We've got some mid-season awards to give out. So let's start with our Blink-worthy player. His name is Tua Tagovailoa. If you haven't heard it, get to know him. He's gone from Hawaiian high school star to a national prominent figure in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. 21 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions so far this season. He's leading the Tide to a perfect 7-0 record. We know that he tweaked his knee, and we will see whether or not he plays against Tennessee, but so far, he's definitely the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. Let's give out our mid-season awards, though. Excluding Tua.
Not named Tua.
That's when you know you're good, by the way.
Okay.
That's when you know you're really good.
Yeah.
Who would be the best player that we've seen in college football?
Well, it's not a big stretch. I'm going to go with Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State simply because, I mean, his numbers are fantastic.
Yep.
But we talked about this earlier. He was exposed a little bit against Penn State. He's sort of the anti-Kyler Murray when it comes to mobility, but it's hard to argue with his numbers and his performance so far.
You said the right guy. Kyler Murray's my guy. I mean, just sensational. I mean, just been fun to watch, picking up, filling heavy shoes with Baker Mayfield. Obviously, a tough thing to do, but you come in and just, I think to me, if I'm buying a ticket to, he's the most exciting player to watch. He's just little quick strides, and it's just like, good luck catching him. I mean, but he's fun.
No, he's great to watch. He's like a little video game watching him play. How about Clemson's running back? We talked about him earlier, Travis Etienne. I mean, he leads the conference in rushing yards a game, 126, averaging 9 yards per carry. Pretty much saved the Syracuse game for them.
He did.
11
No, he did.
touchdowns on the ground.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, so I think
That
Travis
boy good.
Etienne, he's not getting a lot of Heisman consideration right now. I think his name should be thrown in that. His team is undefeated. I like Travis Etienne from Clemson.
Good call.
Yeah, I know that I excluded Tua, but I'm still going with Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, come on, come on.
He is the blimp-worthy player presented by Goodyear, so he's going to be my guy. I don't even care. You can't exclude him from the conversation of the
No,
best
you're
player
right.
so far this
I'm
season.
really worried about that tweaked knee, though. I'm
yeah.
very, very concerned about that tweaked knee.
You never had a tweaked knee when you slid. It hurt
Never.
again, huh?
No,
I mean,
never.
Slid again. I mean, just slid. That's it.
But he could have went back in again.
Yeah, he was fine.
He was fine.
Went the 10 for 25 minutes, but it's good.
Exactly.
Okay, how about this? The coach halfway through the season. Who would be your coach of the year?
I like
Obviously.
Ryan Day.
Leach?
They said Leach.
Mike Leach?
You're just not
His
gonna...
name may get mentioned. Hold on, just be patient. Ryan Day from Ohio State. I mean, he stepped in there when Urban Meyer was suspended. He kept everything going. I think he did an admirable job. But I was really impressed with the Penn State game. We already talked about Dwayne Haskins. He looked human in that game because they put so much pressure on him. But the second half adjustments by Ryan Day, calling those plays, those screens and those like little pop passes that got guys going, that was the difference in that game because Penn State's defense was giving them the business in the first half. So I think Ryan Day so far, what he was able to do when Urban Meyer was suspended and in that Penn State game, to me that second half was brilliant.
Who you got, Gino?
Well, I'm going to go with, I think it's an obvious one. I'm going to go with Nick Saban. Even though he has the best talent, I think he navigated a tricky quarterback situation. You're looking at me like I'm nuts.
Very well.
He has 6 new assistants.
No, I just appreciate you going on a limb.
New defensive coordinator.
Saban.
You were not going to take Nick Saban. Okay?
No, you're right. I wasn't going to go out on that
New
huge
offensive
limb.
coordinator, new
Best coach
defensive
of all time.
coordinator. Yeah, best coach of all time, but we're talking about best coach of the half season. And, you know, his offense has outscored North Carolina, UCLA, and Florida State combined. I just think sometimes we overthink it with this guy. I think he's done the best job this half season.
So you weren't going that way.
Great call. I wasn't going that way. I'm going Mark Stoops, Kentucky. I didn't see them here projected to finish what in the SEC East? Fifth in the media by the SEC East. So I mean, great job with Snell, and company,
Love
and just getting them to play with an edge, upgrading the talent on that roster, and really getting them to believe. And you look at their schedule. They got Georgia, and they got a bunch of winnable games left. So I think that you're talking about Kentucky being a 10-win team. That's pretty daggum sensational.
Yeah, they're in overtime loss to Texas
It's a good
A&M away from being 6-0 this season.
Right.
Okay, let's go back to the preseason. And we all had to make predictions. I forced you guys to go out on limbs all the time on the show.
Yeah.
What's a prediction that's gone wrong for you, Des, so far this season?
Oh, well, I live in Miami.
You got a smile on your face when you say it, too. It's like, well,
I thought the Canes would be another team that would represent the ACC, at least get to the ACC championship game. I don't even know if they're going to get there now. Huge problems at the quarterback position for them. They lost a week ago to UVA after winning just a big game, a big in-state rivalry against Florida State. So I don't know what's going on with the Canes right now. So I think that prediction is really going off the rails
you were
so
high
far.
on the Canes. I remember that.
Yeah,
You were all in top 4. They're going to make it college football playoff.
I thought you were going to go Boston College for Drew Gallagher.
No,
there.
but I didn't. You know, Drew saved me.
You
Drew
love
saved me.
some Boston College.
I was all in for Boston
And
College.
they had a good start to the season,
They
too.
had a fantastic start. Then the wheels fell off.
They did. What about your prediction?
I'll be the first to tell you, I didn't think LSU would be where they're at right now. I mean, just sensational to have that good of a schedule and to be where they're at, to be a top 5 type team in the country. I never would have guessed that in a million years before the season started. So kudos. I was wrong about LSU, and kudos to Ed Orgeron and that staff.
I'll stay in the SEC West. I thought Auburn was going to be much better than they've turned out to be.
Everybody did too, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, that's a huge surprise, given, what we thought was going to happen, 1-3 in the conference, just averaging 22 points per game in the conference play, and already talking about buying out Gus Malzahn, coming up with a $38 million check.
Every year, at some point, they talk about that.
Desmond money.
Y'all ever put in Des pockets? Let me tell you something. I put his jeans on one day and just hundos were falling out. I was like, these ain't my jeans.
I got a question. Did any of you guys have Washington State where they are this season in your preseason white picks? No? None of you?
If we did a player that was off the radar, Minshew would have been the guy.
Exactly.
I mean, my Lord have mercy, he's the next quarterback in line. I mean, I know that, but no, they're definitely a surprise team. They thought they were going to be here, though. Fans are oblivious.
I hope they keep surprising us. Keep it up.
Coach Leach knew it. We're the only ones that didn't. Gino didn't know it, so he's done. College football live. Ruled him out.
Thanks for coming.
Did I mention you're my favorite?
Take your flag.
Take your flag.
Favorite on air.
Take your flag. There you go. Wheels Up's taking Gino away. Special thanks to our friends at Wheels Up who deliver our guest picker each week for game day, who will join us in Pullman tomorrow. You got to wait and find out. We've got more from Pullman as we come back, though. Huge matchups. The 6 top 25 teams are squaring off in this week's matchups, but take a look at our guest picker standings. Luke Bryan, he still leads
dominating
the way with 9-3. Interesting. Is it duck season? Yes, they're hunting Oregon this season. We're coming back for just a little bit of fun from Pullman, Washington. Maybe we'll... And we have an amazing show planned for you here at Wazoo. We'll see which team will miss the playoff and break down the contenders and the pretenders. And in 2014, the man, the myth, the legend, Popcorn Guy. He was born, as cameras caught, a Wazoo fan trying to put popcorn in his mouth. Gino, he's going to make a public plea to see if we can find Popcorn Guy. And Tom Rinaldi with an amazing story on how Old Crimson has become College Game Day staple for the last 15 years. Here's a couple more Old Crimson flag wavers, Jessica Flatt and Andrew Panic.
Why did I fly Old Crimson at College Game Day? In the words of Mike Leach, well, that's a stupid question.
In my travels with Old Crimson, I have definitely slept at every major U.S. airport. Absolutely been operating on 0 sleep most of the time, and for sure have gotten my fair share of abuse from the local fan base. But I'd do it all again in a heartbeat for one simple reason: Cougar pride.
It's incredible to see how many people are involved in making sure Old Crimson makes it to wherever they need to go. I have a question, though. Did anybody go to school today?
I'm just saying.
Did you go to school?
Did
you go to school today?
No.
Did you go to school today?
I hope you didn't phone in sick because you're about to be on TV.
Hey, tell them what you just said. You didn't go to school on what?
Thursday or Friday.
No school Thursday or Friday.
Because
really?
it's a state of emergency.
It's a
College
state of
Game Day
emergency. You
has
guys to
showed
know.
up here
That's
at
right.
Wazoo, and so they can't
Exactly.
do anything.
Nope.
Are you guys coming tomorrow morning? No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Here's the deal. He showed up with a football, so I feel like you need to run a route for Pollock. Do you think that you can catch a ball if he throws it? What's your name? Brady. Of course it is. Can Brady get?
We don't have a lot of space, though.
Hey, go to the dog and then make a left.
All right, here we go.
Space. Ready?
We're gonna have a little bit of fun with Brady. He hasn't been in school in 2 days, but your teachers are gonna know that you've been playing
Exactly.
a
You're
little
on
bit of hooky,
TV
okay?
now, Brady.
You got
Catch
it,
out
Brady.
the back,
You gotta make
Brady.
the catch. You
Go,
gotta make
Brady.
the catch.
You got to go.
There he is.
Turn,
There he
Brady.
is. There he is.
Not too fast. Oh! Yeah. No pressure. No pressure.
Way to go, Brady. Way
Good
to go,
job.
Brady.
It's in the
Good job,
water
Brady.
here. It's in the water here at
Okay,
Washington
guys.
State. They just throw touchdown passes.
Exactly.
Right over there at Martin Stadium is where we're going to see the showdown between Oregon and Washington State.
Exciting.
Do we think that Oregon should be afraid about coming into Martin Stadium? Are the Ducks going to get hunted?
I think
It's
so.
duck season.
I
I
think so.
saw
It's
some.
duck season, right? Yeah. Justin Herbert, though.
I'll tell you one thing. Y'all better pack a lunch, though, because they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
The Ducks,
we
the Ducks
saw them earlier.
Ducks are pretty solid.
We saw them earlier this season, but they found a way to lose against Stanford. They really did.
Ducks are 0-1 with us going to game day.
That's
we went
true.
to the Ducks game day.
So maybe we're helping you guys out a little bit.
Yeah,
Could
that's
be
very
0-2.
true. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, do you guys think that Mike Leach can show up for College Game Day tomorrow?
We need to get Leach on the show.
I don't know. that he will,
We need
but I
to
know
get
that you
Leach
guys
on
would
the
really
show,
like
right?
that. You guys would really like that. Do you think that Mike Leach is the biggest surprise of the first half of the season?
If you just said
All right,
Washington
Cougars,
State, you
okay.
got a better response.
That's right.
Is Washington State
Hey,
the
show
biggest
my buddies
surprise of
over
the
here.
midseason?
Can we get some love for my buddies over here? Yeah, it's a yay,
College
Cougars!
Game Day, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Get in there, get in there, get in there.
Live from Pullman, Washington. We've got all the RVs already camped out. The kids haven't been to school in 2 days.
Forget
Des and
school.
David don't know what they're going to do here. They're going to try and get out of the middle of the crowd. I hope everybody camps out for us. Butch T. Cougar will be here. We hope you will be here.
Hey,
9 a.m. Eastern
come
when
tomorrow.
College Game Day
Bring
kicks
some
off for the
friends,
first
okay?
time. From